The 503, jumping at the ditch. I've dug.
What's up?
What time is it where you're at?
It is now 6:15, but I always put my camera, not my camera, my clocks forward so I'm not late to things. I know that's like some psycho behavior, but
Really?
my clock says 6:25, but it's really 6:15 here. What time is it in? You guys are from Arizona, right?
No, Oregon.
Oh shit. Okay, Oregon, my bad. All right. Well, I knew you were from out west, but okay.
Yeah, we're on the West Coast.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. So what time is it over there?
Dude, it's 3:20. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Wait, what time? What time did you say it is over there? 6.
Oh, wait, it would be 6:20 in real life. My clocks are just all fucked up, but yeah.
Wait, so you actually set them up forward to like so you're on time to things?
Yeah, man. I mean, because I was notorious. I don't want to say notoriously late, but otherwise I will be late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it makes me freak out a little bit, and then I always show up on time.
That's
like, and I was in.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. I'm gonna start doing that shit because I'm late to shit all the fucking time.
That's a high IQ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, for example, I was like 2 hours early to the show, but obviously my clock's only like 10 minutes set ahead. So I mean, that's just me being a weirdo, but yeah, I just like to be early.
Nothing wrong with that. Are we recording? Yeah. How was the show?
Yeah. How was that, brother? Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, we sold a lot of tickets. I mean, enough that I'm 24, but I've been playing in bands since I was like probably 13, 14 out, and it wasn't really until the last year that I've been making like a profit playing shows. You know what I'm saying? Usually, like when you play in a band and you're like a local new band, usually I don't want to say losing money, but usually you're playing for free or something. But yesterday, I mean, it was fucking awesome. There was it must have been like 50, 60 plus people there. So yeah. So it was really awesome. So yeah. And then we were in New York City, so then I when I got some drinks and shit after. So
there you go.
Yeah.
It looked like you guys were having fun out there.
Yeah, I mean, like the way I viewed like live shows is that it's really just about having fun. I think that like recording the music is the hard part, you know what I'm saying? And then like once you start playing, once you play live, I'm not saying it's a free pass to like fuck up or something like that, but most of the time the sound is never incredible anyway, so I don't think that people care if you're a little tipsy or whatever, as long as you could make it through the songs, you could do all of them. Yeah, it was good though. It was good
show though, right?
Sorry,
it was your first show though, right?
This was our second show as this band.
Oh, okay.
As Vertical Space anyway, but I mean I played in screamo bands and stuff the last 10 years basically.
And so your name is Reynold?
Yeah, it's Reynolds, but everybody calls me Ron. But yeah, my real name is Reynolds.
And so which one are you? Are you the singer or?
Yeah, so I am the rhythm guitar player, and then I'm also the singer. So
cool.
Yeah, and then I most of the music that you heard in the first two EPs, if you listened, I wrote it. Moving forward, though, as we write more music, the other guys are contributing a lot more in terms of the writing and stuff. But yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
What's it? 4 people in a band?
Yeah. So there's 4 of us, 2 guitar players, a bassist, and then the drummer. And then myself, as I said, on vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, are you the one who posts on your guys' story a bunch of you just like playing the acoustic?
Yeah, man, that's me. Yeah, I don't know. Like the other guys, they're in the past, we all kind of managed the social media, but sometimes like, and maybe it's not like this with every band, but I felt as though sometimes we would like kind of disagree on like how we want it to be. Like I'm someone I try to be like very like maybe authentic's the wrong word, but I try to be like very just myself on social media. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to pretend to be something else or
I on the stories when you post like the acoustic, like it's very raw.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I guess that's what I'm going for. But
yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah, you guys can hear me, by the way, right? Like everything's good. I got like a whole mic here. If my camera was working, you would see I have like a professional ass setup.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, our setup is 2 levels below professional, dude. It's,
We're getting there. Though.
2 levels below. Okay.
yeah,
Nice. All right. Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, how you said that you're actually making a profit. We're trying to get there. So
Hey man, you guys are. I believe you're on the come up. I listened to episode 1.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, you guys sound great. Who's the shirtless dude in the background with the cross on the poster thing?
Oh, that's Lane Staley.
Oh, okay, Lane Staley. Okay,
Allison
I don't know
Chains.
who that is, to be honest with you. I'm gonna Google it right now as we speak.
Well, have
Lane
you ever listened
Staley.
to Alice in Chains?
Yes, is that actually it? Like, should I know who that is? Is
That's
that
the
is he
lead
the?
singer.
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right.
I'm just a stan of him. So
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I know who he is, but like some people don't. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of bands where I'm yeah, like I know who they are. Like, for example, like Weezer, I can't name anyone in Weezer, but I like Say It Ain't So.
No one
Everybody
can
knows
name.
that, yeah.
No one can name his full name.
That guy's name, yeah. And then I know that
Lead singer with the glasses.
yeah, the dude he's a little nerdy. Yeah, but Alice in Chains, they got that song Man in the Box.
Yeah.
They got that song where he's like down in a hole. And
Yeah. That's probably my favorite one right there.
Yeah. That's a great song. And then the song Wood. So those are like the 3 Alice in Chains songs I know.
Okay. That's what we wanted to ask you is like, what were the bands that, because sometimes when I'm listening to your music, I don't know if you've heard of Deftones.
Yeah.
They're kind of like how it's like a whisper kind of vibe, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I guess, so I'm definitely into Deftones. I would say that some of my main inspirations, man, inspirations are always a hard question because like it's almost like a philosophical question because like when I think back 10 years ago, I don't like any of the same music I like today, but obviously like the things I like growing up is what influenced, how I play today. I mean, but I don't know if you know Sandy Alex G, Modest Mouse. You guys know the band Modest Mouse? No. No. Oh shit. All right.
Is it like a really big East Coast thing or?
No. Modest Mouse is from Oregon, actually, believe it or not.
No way.
Yeah. But they're like a 90s thing. And they're like I don't know, maybe you know the song Float On. We'll all float on. Maybe you don't, but it's okay. But they're like a super
for sure.
Yeah, dude, check them out. A matter of fact, like when I imagined the West Coast, like I've never been to the West Coast, but I will actually be going west in just 2 weeks to the Grand Canyon, to Zion National Park, and to Nevada, Las Vegas. So
Las Vegas, that would be fun.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, so when I think of the like Western music, I always think of Modest Mouse, but that's probably not accurate. I don't know. Yeah, but I'll say Sandy Alex G, Modest Mouse. I would say Turnover, Balance and Composure. I don't know if you know any of these bands. Okay, yeah. Turnover is like an East Coast thing. I think Balance and Composure is a big East Coast thing too.
Yeah.
Peach Pit. Maybe you don't know Peach Pit. I think they're like a California band. Yeah. But yeah, no. Super into Deftones. A matter of fact, yesterday, Deftones was playing. And I totally forgot they were playing. Otherwise, I would have just canceled the fucking show. I would have never. I would have not played because
like, we're going to see Deftones.
Yeah, their first show on the tour was actually in Portland, Oregon. So.
Oh really? Yeah. I wonder where they're from. See, I'm on Wikipedia now, so I can just look up where Deftones is from. This is probably like the easiest podcast you guys ever do, and I just don't shut up. I just keep talking.
No, that's great. We were nervous we were gonna bore you guys out, so this is great.
No. Yeah. Okay. So see, they're from Sacramento, California.
That's crazy. I thought they were from Seattle, like that Seattle area.
Yeah. Yeah. It says Sacramento. Yeah. You know what's really interesting? So I've traveled a bit for work. I work in IT. And like it's always amazing to me how different parts of the United States are like there's like a slightly different culture everywhere. I think anyway.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Like
you can tell with people's music preference. Like that's kind of the biggest thing where I can kind of see how there's different cultures is that everywhere has like an artist where they're like, hey, have you heard of this? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
It was the same way, you know?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that I mean, obviously down to food and everything like that and what people do for fun. And Yeah, but I have no idea what the West is like, and so I'm really excited. I've traveled like all the East Coast. I've been to, but probably the farthest west I've been is Kentucky, which is like in middle fucking nowhere. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna like pull up a map of the USA right now. How far east have you guys been?
Dude,
Washington. That's about.
I think me is
Idaho.
Utah. Yeah, Idaho, Utah.
Utah. So what do you guys think? I feel like I'm like podcasting you now, but like, what do you guys think of like? Hold on, I'm pulling up the map right now.
Is the East Coast just like a bit? To me, it's the entire East Coast is just like a business. Like New York, everyone's just kind of like always moving.
Yeah, no, honestly, dude. You know what? And I'll tell you, I didn't realize it until I started like traveling for work and stuff. But like honestly, where I'm from, like New Jersey, New York, I live like 30, 45 minutes from New York City. I mean, really, it's just like a big industrial wasteland. And that's not like I'm not saying like it's not, and I don't want to I'm not making fun of people from like this area, but like you don't really realize until, and I've traveled extensively in the American South, and maybe the South is different than the West. But like you don't realize how like kind of cluttered everything is like where I'm from, so yeah, I mean it definitely is businessy. I think that in New York and New Jersey anyway, people move a lot I guess faster, like the way people interact, the businesses, people, I feel like people even speak faster than
the stereotype for over there over here. Like those time lapses of New York and so those people walking.
Yeah, exactly.
East Coast.
That's how you talk.
well, but for us though, like I think like the West Coast stereotype is that everyone's like weed smoking hippies, basically.
And
that like everyone's like just like come on, man, like chill out. You know what I'm saying?
That you don't think would smoke weed on the West Coast probably smoke weed. Like everybody smokes weed, or at least has smoked weed over here. Everybody's chill. I mean, there's never anything like I can walk up to a stranger and just have a conversation down here. It's never
yeah.
Dude,
I mean that's
joking right now.
Yeah, I feel like if you just walked up to a random dude here, like he would just be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" and you just like beat your ass.
That's how we think of it. Like New York, like you say what's up and somebody's gonna yell at you or something.
Bro, I'm telling you, the most stressful thing in the world. So it's not that stressful anymore because I'm from New Jersey. Yeah. But like when you're driving on the Jersey Turnpike, dude, and somebody cuts you off, dude, it just becomes like a fucking violent war, dude. Like everyone's throwing middle fingers, you're tailgating. And I'm not okay. Wait, I want to be clear because I don't want to get in trouble here. I do not condone any sort of angry driving or violence. I'm just saying that shit gets crazy in New Jersey. And dude, I was just driving to the city yesterday. It's like a madhouse, dude. It's the concrete jungle. I mean, like it's just impossible. It takes you 20 minutes to go like 3 streets basically. God, you might as well just walk or take the train everywhere in New York City.
And that's just because of traffic, right? And people walking and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with like New York City is that it's and again, I'm no like geographer or some shit, so I don't know like the square footage or mileage of New York City. But from my viewpoint anyway, there's so many people in New York, and the city itself is again, I don't know the square mileage, but put it this way, there's too many people in New York for the size of the city. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's so cluttered. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that like in all of New Jersey, and you know what, a matter of fact, I'm just gonna look it up, population of New Jersey, so that I don't say something completely wrong and lie to everyone. Okay, yeah, population New Jersey, 8.8 million, right?
That's crazy, actually.
God.
Yeah. Population of New York City, 8.3 million. That's the city. So there are as many people in just the city as there are in the state of New Jersey.
Put it in perspective, bro. That was
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I mean, but New Jersey is the most densely populated state in of the 50. So like that means that the most people are cluttered together, but obviously it's not the most populated or anything like that.
People are just not bred to be like living close together. Like I bet like crime is, I don't know it. Like I bet it's high. Like people aren't supposed to be in such tightly dense places. Like I bet that's why people move so fast. It's just like something about it puts like a pressure on you.
Well, yeah. I mean, like for me, like yeah. Well, first of all, I agree with you. I think that it's weird though. It's just like I feel like sometimes some people get so used to living in the city that they almost like they crave that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that like, and now I'm getting like philosophical here, but like at the end of the day, we really are animals and we kind of crave being in nature in some way.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so like, I mean, I don't know, like, and it's cool. And again, I'm not used to the city, but I just to go with what you had just said, like, I'm personally already just got a place like in South Jersey where it's a little more rural and stuff. So it's better for me. But yeah, I think that some people just get used to it,
Do you think living in that area where how like going off the how like people are always moving, or maybe like it's almost like a business where like on the East Coast, like everything's always, do you think that's kind of like had like an inspiration on your music, or do you think that's like pushed you harder? Is there more like of a competition? Is there like a higher competition?
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe in the West Coast or in the West in general, I presume that there's just as many bands. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'll say that like it's kind of weird because like in New Jersey, for example, I've been playing for 10 years, but I feel like everybody's in a fucking band. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
have to like it's just like there's like 10 bands per fucking town. And then there's like another like new 10 every year. So
Yeah.
it's just like you just have to like I guess like the way that I I feel like I've kind of learned to combat that. Not that it's a big competition, but it also is,
Fuck, sorry, I'm blanking. So you said earlier that each town, like I completely agree, like how each town kind of has like there's everybody like aspiring to be a creative. So like you're saying like 10 bands. Do you guys get like a lot of like bands, like up and come not up and coming bands, but maybe like starters, like groups of musicians? Because here in the like West Coast,
Yeah.
we get a lot of like
Inde-
SoundCloud, yeah, like
yeah, it's like
artists.
independent, like rappers or just people who are just by themselves making music.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people like that. I think that again, this is just my subjective perspective, but I think that there are probably more bands here than independent artists. But a lot of times, like independent artists will have bands backing them and stuff, that kind of things, like for live specifically or for recording. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that there's definitely yeah, it's probably exactly the same. I mean, just I notice more bands personally, probably because I play with more bands.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
at that show that you guys played yesterday, did you guys have another band that you guys played with, or was it all just you guys?
No, so there was us, and then there was three other bands
Oh,
playing. They were like from Long Island, like and then two from New York City. So we were another band. But I mean we sold like Vertical Space itself because like we had like an online ticket sale thing, and then I don't know how many people showed up at the door, but we sold like over 30 just like with our ticket sale thing, and then more people showed up at the door. So that's why it ended up it and we ended up, as I said, making some sort of a profit, which
yeah,
was good.
that's super dope. Yeah.
Was it like a bar situation, or was it like a venue, or
It was like like you don't like in Rock Band, like the video game, when you're
Yeah.
playing at like the low tier venue. No
Yeah.
shade to them, by the way, they were a great
No,
venue, but I'm
dude,
just saying, like,
I have Rock Band and
yeah,
Guitar Hero sitting up here. I love that game so much.
yeah. Yeah, that's exactly like what it was. Like it was a venue, but like it's not like Madison Square Garden or
yeah,
something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, it was a legit, like there was a stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I mean, it looked like you guys, from just the videos I've seen in your story, it looked like there was a bunch of people. So
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool, and I think that since 2020, the scene has reemerged, probably stronger than prior to 2020. Maybe because people were kind of pent up and they realized some of the like the art and the culture that was lost with or almost lost with the pandemic and people not
yeah,
being able to go out. But I think that more people kind of just go out now just to have fun.
dude, how is that whole pandemic situation like over there? Because over here, it's I want to say people are like chill about it, but they're not as like like we don't have to wear a mask in the stores anymore, and like if you do see
Yeah.
someone with a mask, it's kind of weird. Where I feel like
Yeah.
in, like you said, New York has a lot of people. I feel like they're
Yeah.
more mask oriented, but
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, I think that I don't know. I like again, and like this kind of gets into politics. Like for me, politically, I'm pretty much in the middle. Like I'm not right, I'm not left. I kind of, it depends on the issue, but I think that um at least the governments here are a little more very left leaning. So like there were heavy throughout New York and New Jersey, heavy mask regulations for a long time. In New York, for example, I don't know if it was the same over there, but in New York, like they had vaccine requirements to go into restaurants and stores.
yeah,
They had like when you were inside, you always had to wear a mask, that kind of thing. Now it's very much peeled back, and they've peeled back vaccine requirements in Philly and in New York City. But I think that at this point in time, most people are not wearing masks over here right now. Is that the same with you guys?
yeah, that's how it is over here.
Did you ever get it?
Yeah, I had COVID. I think maybe this last Thanksgiving I had it, which sucked because no Thanksgiving for me. But
Oh, that's so tough.
yeah, but like for me, it wasn't bad. I mean, like, but I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm sure for some people it's very bad, but for me personally, it was. I think I was sick for. I was like really sick for 24 hours, and then after that, I was like chilling. I was just working remote. A matter of fact, on the second day, I started working out again. I'm like really big into exercise, so I was doing like Insanity and like I don't know if you know P90X, but like I was just doing that with like my pull up bar and stuff like that. So I was just working out with COVID. I got fucking jacked on COVID.
Sweat that shit out.
How was your smell? How was like your smell and taste? Was that affected?
Oh, it really was. Yeah. A matter of fact, that was like the main weird thing about COVID, in my opinion, was the smell. Like, and I remember too, like I didn't really realize it until somebody asked me like on the second day, like, yo, like you still got your smell? And yeah, like I took like some like vodka that was in my room. Like, you know how you smell alcohol, you know what I'm saying? I put my nose like right next to that shit. I'm like, yeah, I can't smell anything, dude. Yeah.
I never got that bad when I got it, but I don't even know if, do you have your smell that?
It comes and goes.
Yeah.
Still?
I feel like, yeah.
Still. Damn.
It like messes with stuff. Like certain food tastes gross to me now. I don't know.
Damn.
Actually, I have heard things about that where like some people can't eat meat and eggs.
But like for 3 solid months, I couldn't smell the taste. Yeah. Even after I was like not sick or whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, for me, it wasn't, thankfully I didn't get like a long COVID, like with the symptoms or anything. It was kind of just one and done. I was definitely, I feel like again, this could just be in my head, but like, I felt like maybe my breathing was like not as well for maybe like a month after, like, and I'm someone who runs a lot. Like I love to go on like long runs and shit. So I felt like, after a 3-mile run, I was like way more winded than I would be like normally, but yeah.
I definitely feel that. I definitely feel like my lungs kind of took some damage when I had it.
So what does everybody just got fucking COVID at this point?
Like, I think so, bro. I think everybody's at least got it once. Like if you have it, it's a rarity.
It's probably a rarity at this point. I mean, I think that I saw like the statistic that over like 1/3 of the US has got it already, and
I believe 100%.
Maybe even more. Yeah. So
I wanted to ask you what was the like inspo and like feeling, I guess, of making Think Again, your guys' most popular one on Spotify at least. Because that beginning riff, and then when the drums come in, and when you're like, it all kind of like, it's like one thing after another. It was like the way when I'm listening to it, it's kind of like a build up all in the beginning, and then it all comes together.
Yeah. So like Think Again. I had been in like a long-term relationship for about 5 years, and we ended up breaking up later that year. But anyway, at that time we were kind of having problems and stuff. And so when I wrote Think Again, it was really just the idea that like you think you know somebody like online, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my girlfriend and we were like, I mean, it wasn't like a long distance relationship or anything like that, but just in modern society nowadays, like it's so easy to either make problems worse because of technology or to pretend they don't exist because of technology. Like it's so easy to
That's why
text each other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to misread something or to ignore an issue, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the idea behind that was like, if you think you got me figured out, go ahead and think again. And then like the lyrics are like, you know, you're talking a lot. You think that you're in love, but you know, you're, you know, that kind of thing. So it just perpetuates an issue. But the actual like music behind it, a matter of fact, that whole riff was never supposed to be like a thing. A matter of fact, the original Think Again was just the chords, and then the singing. But I was with my old producer and I was just like, you know what, dude, like, what if we just kind of title fight this and spice it up a little bit? And so that I just added the riff, but I honestly at the time I didn't think that Think Again would be the popular song. I thought Not Even a Friend would be the popular song, honestly.
I like that one.
Yeah, thanks. But I'm happy it was Think Again overall because it's probably a better song. But yeah, think again. That's basically the story of Think Again, and
that's really cool to hear all that. Like because there's definitely a lot of emotion in that song, just the way you sing it and stuff like that. So
yeah, no, thanks. I mean, Think Again was written too. It was weird because it was like in that time in 2020 where like everyone was super scared to meet up, especially over here. I don't know over there, but it was like at the point where like my producer was like in one room, I was in another room, like we were both like avoiding each other and stuff, and like it was just like really weird. And so, you know, the crazy thing about like 2020 is just like, you know, I hope the world never goes through something like that again, but it's also like I'm almost nostalgic thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I probably will be for the rest of my life, you know? So yeah.
That's what I was about to say. It almost sounds like an experience where like that's a story in itself, where your producer was in a different room and you were in another, just trying to make songs though, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but yeah, I mean the whole the whole song was really, actually, that was like a demo mix, the one that came out. There was like a better mix of Think Again that just never came out. It's like a very long story because like I ended up not working with my old producer any longer, but so I never got that final mix. So, but I just ended up putting out the demo mix. And I mean, who knows? Maybe the new mix would have been shit.
Compared to I mean, I don't know.
It worked out.
Yeah, it did work out. It's on top now. So,
how did you find the art for that? Because I was looking at that and I really like just the green tones of it was really cool. Maybe like the psychedelic feel with like the tendrils and the eyeballs. How did you find that? Did you create that, or did someone make that for you, or?
Yeah, so and it's the same person who made the Boozy Milkshake, the Milkshake art, and then also we have another album coming out called Outside the Room later this summer, and she made this.
Really excited for that, by the way. I saw that you posted 11 songs are being mixed right now.
Oh, 11?
Yeah. So we have like an obscene amount of music, and it's really just because. Oh wait, let me answer your first question. I'm sorry. The Bridge to Nowhere cover. Yeah. So no, that was made by someone named Sarah Maya, and like I'm really into just like psychedelic rock and shoegaze and that kind of thing. And so I just sent her the songs for Bridge to Nowhere, and I was just like, can you just make some trippy art like of something in a room? And she just made that without any direction. She just made that.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So
we're in a room and that's what she came up with.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, no, she's super talented, and she's also open to commissions. And we're actually gonna make a post later this week with her, like her information and stuff, because she's, as I said, she's helped us so much. We obviously pay her, but I mean, you know, she's just a very talented artist.
Yeah, definitely. About the 11 new songs. What were you saying about that?
Yeah. So I mean, basically these 11 songs are just songs that I've written in the last 2 years, but I didn't feel like fit really into anything. So it's kind of like a B-side album that we're putting out. And then so next month we actually start recording our first like really professionally recorded album through Big and Tall Studios here in New Jersey.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm definitely super excited. It's a different kind of feel, but the 11 songs right now are just songs that I either did at home or they were kind of like B-sides to Bridge to Nowhere or Boozy Milkshake that I just didn't put out. And it's not necessarily that those songs aren't as like, I don't want to say they're not as good. It's just that
Yeah,
the vibe was different. Like Boozy Milkshake's more like almost like pop rockish, and then Bridge to Nowhere is like psychedelic rock. So it was like, I felt like it didn't fit either of those. So we just have like 11 songs, and some of them are acoustic and stuff. But yeah. So
I'm
I
still
mean,
really excited. I mean, anything new, like I said, anything new from you guys is just great. I like hearing it all. So
no, dude, I really fucking appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the whole goal as a band is just to continuously just keep putting out music. Again, like I felt like for many years it was just like if you don't produce like a product, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's what I told my band, like when we first started this band. Like, if you're a coffee shop, right, and you only sell like a fucking vanilla latte once a year on one day, and your mom is the only one who buys it, you're not gonna be a popular coffee shop, So like you gotta keep trying to make stuff, and and I don't know. Yeah.
Even if the coffee, like in your like analogy, even if the coffee is shit, it's good to like as a creative to always be producing. That's like that's how you wrap your head around that's how you find your style. You're putting, even though like you're not putting out the best product, you're finding out what products you like, what products are bad, and it really like shapes your creative mind, I guess.
100%. And I mean, I'm someone who like for a very long time, like in bands previous to Vertical Space, I was very apprehensive to release things because I thought they were bad. And so for that reason, it would be like 2 years where I would just like put out one song or something like that. And that's like, now I'm like the complete opposite. Now I'm like, oh, this sounds like shit, I'm gonna put it out anyway, because it's me. If it sounds like shit or if it sounds great, it's also me. And that's
authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Being authentically yourself is the thing. So, but yeah. That's the story of the 11 songs coming out. It's called Outside the Room, and I'm not gonna say a release date, but it's basically almost done at this point now in terms of mix and master. So
yeah, I'm sure we're all really excited about that. But so what was the inspo and feeling making the Boozy Milkshake? Like, because that whole like top to bottom, that's
hard.
Yeah, it just like has like a whole vibe to it. Dark Circles is like how you said, it's like a pop rock, like that kind of. I play that song every morning, to be honest with you. It's just
really
fun. Yeah, it's like a morning vibe kind of song where it just kind of like lifts you up, makes you happy, makes you want to get something done.
Dude, really, thank you.
Like, even each song is like, no song is out of place. Like all of it fits the vibe. I love the art for it. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, for Boozy Milkshake, I guess I'll tell you the story of the Boozy Milkshake. So like I was in Georgia for like a business trip last summer. And they have this place called Farmhouse. If you ever go to Georgia, maybe they have it in other states. I don't know. But it's literally FARMHAUS. So Farmhouse. Okay. And they have like burgers and shit. It's like really good. And then they also have milkshakes, and they put like vodka and tequila in it. And it's called like milkshake. Yeah. And it's called the Boozy Milkshake, literally on their menu. And so I would like go there all the time, just be eating burgers for like however many months I was there. And then I would get Boozy Milkshakes. And then like, and a matter of fact, that's where I came up with the name Vertical Space too. Cause my buddy there, we were like all drunk, and he was like, dude, your next band should be called Vertical Brick. And I was just like, and I was just like, oh, dude, like that actually kind of goes hard, but we're not like a punk band. Like, I don't know, like Vertical Brick. Like, I just imagine like someone like taking a brick and like throwing it at the establishment and like destroying some shit. Brick, and I was just like,
aggressive word too. It's just kind of like
very heavy.
Yeah. Vertical Brick is just, and it's just not us. So I was like, wait, we're kind of like psychedelic. Like, what about Vertical Space? And he was like, nah, like that shit's ass. And I was like, all right, yeah. But I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it anyway. So that's the story of the Vertical Space. But for the Boozy Milkshake, yeah. So I mean, that's why the milkshake thing happened. And then I told Sarah, as I said, the artist, I was like, yo, can you make like a milkshake floating in space? And like that's what she did. She did it perfectly. A milkshake
like
in
a
fucking
poster right
space.
from the 90s almost. It's kind of got like a retro filter over it.
Yeah. No, she's talented. I'm just an idiot compared to her. But no. So yeah, so
working together.
Yeah. But in terms of the songs, actually, believe it or not, Bridge to Nowhere and the Boozy Milkshake were actually one whole album originally. But again, I won't get into the story because it's like too much drama. It'll take up 10 hours. But when my previous producer and I fell out, essentially I just got super tired of waiting for the songs that were on the Boozy Milkshake to be mixed and mastered because I had the tracks, but I didn't have them mixed and mastered. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just put out Bridge to Nowhere first, and then Boozy Milkshake. Like I'll make a new EP out of the other 5 songs that aren't on this. So I mean, really, that's the story of how it came out. But I mean, Dark Circles, that was also made in like 2020. Aeroplanes 2020. The only song I'm not really proud of, Boozy Milkshake, is the way I think it's the third track came out, Life's a Nightmare, and that's because it was like a demo mix, unfortunately. Like it wasn't supposed to have that like weird, like terrible piano, like fucking the electric piano.
No, bro. That's
you like that song?
Yes, dude. That's my favorite fucking song.
Okay, well, in my head, it was supposed to, like, we had like a legit like piano part we were gonna make, not like that like fake electronic Fruity Loops bullshit. Yeah. But hey, no, I'm happy somebody likes it. Yeah, but all right. Yeah.
You got a falling out with your producer? Does that mean you're producing all your music right now?
No. So I have I mean, I'm working with other people here. I do all my like own demo mixes and stuff like that, but I mean, that's really just internally with the band as we write music. In terms of, who do I work with now? I've been working with this guy Jay here in Union, New Jersey, who's helped us out a lot. He's kind of done a lot of the stuff for Outside the Room. And then next month, as I said, with Big and Tall Recordings. So they're producing for us moving forward.
Yeah, I was about to ask that if they were gonna do that. Is that all one like studio session where you guys are just gonna record for like a whole day, or how does that work? Do you know?
Yeah. So really, when you record, I don't know, are any of you guys musicians or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So for us anyway, like what we do is like, we'll have like drums done like on, 2 separate days and really just get a perfect take of the drums and the studio people do their studio magic where they have like 16 microphones to get every part of the drum set.
Magic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we don't like play it live or something like the Rolling Stones or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is usually recorded separately. But I mean, like, for example, when Andy records drums next month, I'm gonna be there with him. I'm gonna probably be unplugged in another room where he could see me like playing, with him, and I'll have like headphones so I could hear his parts, so that just to make sure that everything is 100%.
Stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that what that's okay? So that is what it's for when you're playing with him. It's just all the timing of it.
Yeah. It's really the timing and stuff. I mean, obviously, he, as a drummer, he has like a metronome, but it's the timing, but it's also the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like having the other person in your band there. Like yesterday at the show, for example, like we played like a few songs off of the next 2 albums that are coming out, and just doing it all together live is very much different than the way I used to make music, where it was like, we would kind of just send each other our parts and then just mix it before we ever played it live. Now we're kind of writing it together fully, so it sounds more cohesive, and then hopefully that pays off.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah.
So you were saying it's being like professionally record like at a studio. Are you paying for this studio, or are you like signed to like
no
industry, or?
We are unsigned, but hopefully one day that changes. But we will see. But I mean, yeah, no, we're paying for it. But again, hopefully one day that changes. So
so you're wanting to get signed?
It depends on like the deal, you know, like that
Okay.
kind of thing. Like if it means I have to like one big thing for me on the creative side is being able to release music when I want to release it.
Yeah.
But I'm also like reasonable. Like I understand that they are a business, you know what I'm saying? And they're also giving you a lot of resources. So I'm not like one of those people that are like, oh, fuck labels. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how I am. Um, but yeah, it depends on the deal. Like, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to signing for, you know, for like a year or something like that to put out an album or two. And, you know, even if they got the majority of the money, just simply for the exposure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
only ask because like a lot of people, I mean, not a lot of people that I know, but like from what I've heard, a lot of labels can't like you like I heard that it's really easy to get sucked into that contract, like, and then you're just tied off.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll say that there's like a, you know, a couple labels that I've talked to that are like small, like New Jersey local labels, and not a problem with them, but like, you know, yeah, I get what you're saying, you know, and it just depends on what it depends on what the deal is, whether or not, you know, Vertical Space will sign. But I think that, you know, with the right deal, and again, like we're reasonable people. I don't expect to be like, oh, you guys get 100% of the profit as the band, and we'll just make all your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense for them.
Yeah.
But as long as it's like a reasonable deal, yeah, I'd like to get signed eventually.
How's it been being independent? Like, do you enjoy how it's been, or?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like to tell you the truth, I can't complain. I mean, like it's, you know, I've done like the Instagram ads and stuff. People came
Yeah.
to the show. We
That's
have
how I
merch
found
that we.
you guys,
Oh
was
yeah, well,
through-
you know what, dude, and I gotta keep doing those ads, man, because
Yeah.
one day, yeah, that's the world domination with that ad, dude. The Think Again ad. Um, no, but yeah, I mean, being independent, I really can't complain. I like being able to kind of say and do what I want on, you know, social media and at shows, and, you know, make the kind of music I want to make. Like, you know, you'll see like moving forward, like the music is becoming a little bit different. It's, I don't want to say less shoegazy, but it's more so like more like I don't want to say acoustic bass, but it's definitely just like a cleaner, less distorted sound than Bridge to Nowhere and Boozy Milkshake were.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the freedom to be able to do that. But again, if, you know, maybe the right label will like that cleaner sound better, and then, you know, that means that it doesn't matter anymore what the old stuff was like. So
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. That's cool that you guys are doing all this different stuff. So it's a bunch of different sounds people can listen to. You know, like how you said, the first EP was more of like a psychedelic, and then the Boozy Milkshake was more pop rock. Like I like how you guys and even in both those EPs, there's songs, like every song it matches the EP, but it's different in its own sound, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Totally.
You said you've been doing music for 10 years. Am I getting that right? 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been doing this? Like where you are, and you, for this entire 10 years, you've been complete, like at it, like you've been serious about like wanting to become a musician?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I was in a band. I mean, you could look at it after this, called To Vanish Tomorrow, and then a band called Floral Gray, and we were like a screamo band, and I was the bassist for many years, for that band, and I mean, yeah, we were pretty serious. But I mean, this is no knocking on screamo, because I actually love scrams, and you wouldn't see it from my music now. But you know, it just feel like it's a harder genre to you know, for people to notice you in. It's probably because a smaller pool of people like that kind of music. But yeah, I mean, I was certainly serious, but I didn't really start considering myself a lead vocalist until the band I was in prior to this band, where I was a background vocalist in that band, and now in this band I obviously do the lead vocals. But yeah, I guess like seriously taking myself serious as a guitar player and a vocalist within the last year.
And how often are you making music? Is this an everyday thing, weekly?
I mean, really, like I don't know if I got like an issue, bro, or something, but like whenever I sit down like at the computer with my guitar, I make a song, even if it's trash, but like, you know, it's I don't know. It's just for me, I just like to just play around with sounds and stuff like that. I always have a guitar at home, so
I was only asking because well, I'm an artist, and like I'm kind of the same way. If I'm sitting down, like the first thing I want to be doing is drawing. Like it's not like I have to do this, but like I just that's just what I'm drawn. Like I like that's what is pulling me. And at times, because I'm doing this like every day, basically every day. At times I'll get burnt out, like really burnt out, where my creativity meter is low. So I was gonna ask, does your do you ever get burnt out? How do you combat that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, and again, it really just depends on the person. So, but I know for me personally, like I start noticing when my creativity meter is low when I start kind of making like shit music basically, and that's what, so I mean, and a lot of those songs like no one will ever really hear, but I don't really have like a complete strategy, and I think that at least for me, if I were to try to regulate it, like, hey, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I write music, and then I'm off Thursday to Sunday, like it would stop being fun. So it really is just whenever I want to make music. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes I'm just like, hey, I just want to play video games, or hey, I'm gonna go to sleep, or hey, I'm gonna fuck off and do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like like, music isn't the focus now. And as long as, I'm fine making just like an album a year if I had to, but I feel like I write way more than that overall right now. But yeah.
What do you guys do for fun over there? I thought that was an interesting thing that you brought up. Like you were wondering what we did. What do you guys do?
Like for fun? I mean, so yeah, I guess it's probably the same thing. I mean, like, like the frat boys go to the frat parties, and but I mean, I'm for me, like I really like to exercise. So I mean, I'm sure that that's not everybody's favorite answer, but like I run like 3-4 miles every day. I go to work. I obviously playing music, but I think that for the most part, when people probably this is very similar things on each coast, we'll go and eat out with friends, or we go to a bar. I like to like bar hop and that kind of thing too.
Gotcha.
New Jersey has an awesome, like, if you ever make it out here, we have the Jersey Shore, and so there are some spots like Seaside Heights or Asbury Park where there's just awesome. There's like an awesome like boardwalk like there, and you could, that's always fun. And if you live anywhere in New Jersey, you're no more than like an hour and a half from that, because it's such a small state. So yeah.
Have you been to the Jersey House?
The Jersey House? I don't know what that is. What is that?
You know Jersey Shore, the show?
Oh no, actually, you know what? I am like one of the rare people, and if anybody from New Jersey watches this, I'm sorry. I've never really seen Jersey Shore. I know that like it's like a really
you don't need to see it. You don't need to.
You're not missing.
Yeah.
I know that there's like Snooki and stuff, like, but I don't. But honestly, like, they do shoot that in New Jersey. But I would actually say like a really realistic show about New Jersey is The Sopranos.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, I don't want to say like I'm not involved with the mob or something, but like the way they talk about New Jersey and stuff, and like all the scenery. Obviously, it was shot in New Jersey, but it's just I feel like there's a very strong Jersey culture that's represented there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what's the future hold? Is there anything that isn't music that you're looking at, like maybe clothing ideas? Example.
Well, with the band, like we have like merch that's coming out with our first album. Well, I should say for like the B-side Outside the Room album. We have merch that we're gonna be dropping with that, and that will be that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. I mean, it's, we're going to try to keep it as cheap as possible, but also, it's not like our CDs where we were shipping them across the United States by hand. Now we got it on like a website called Bonfire, and you'll be able to buy it online, and it'll just ship directly to you. So
we definitely want to support you guys with that. I mean, I'm definitely going to probably buy a shirt or whatever you guys have. I'll definitely I'm definitely gonna try and get something. So.
You guys are gonna make me fucking cry. Thank you.
We love you guys, bro. Like I'm glad
thank you.
we found you guys and this is happening. So
No. Totally. Thanks. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that like a vertical space like beanie or some shit would be cool, but it's also kind of getting hot. And I'm sure in Oregon, is it hot over there? Or is it like a cold state?
Right now it's humid. Like it's like you walk outside and it's like warm, but it's like wet. If that makes sense.
It feels like we live in a giant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That
with trees. Yeah.
That with trees. Well, I actually heard though that like Oregon and like Washington State are the most like beautiful states in America.
I mean, bro, you said it's very industrial.
I would love to. Yeah.
Where you're at here, it's nature. Like there's trees it's green everywhere.
Yeah, y'all got trees out there?
I mean,
concrete trees.
Yeah. Concrete trees. No, but we got in New Jersey. There's trees, but I mean it's probably not like you guys when you talk about trees, you're probably talking about like the fucking forest right outside your house.
Yeah, not like a single tree.
Yeah, I mean like we have trees on each block. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like the island of nature and like the sea of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And like especially like and then like New York City itself is like it's just like what I said, like it's like a concrete jungle. I mean, it's just like, it's just skyscrapers and just, there's no trees in sight, but I'm someone who loves nature. Like, that's why in South Jersey and some areas of Philly, like I over here, I hike at Cheesequake State Park. What?
Cheesecake State Park? Is that what you said?
Cheesequake, Quake.
Play on words.
Yeah. I've been to Congaree National Park, which our third album is actually like I wrote the whole third album in Georgia. So that's coming out probably in 2023 at some point. Yeah. But the Congaree National Park, I've been to like Blue Ridge Mountains, and then in 2 weeks, as I said, I'll be in. It's just me, not the band. I'm just going with my brother. But yeah, I'll be in the Grand Canyon. I'll be in Zion National Park. So
yeah, definitely. When you guys get a chance to visit the West Coast, come visit Oregon. It's beautiful, and especially if you guys do it in the summertime, it's gonna be super nice, clear skies.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to. I've only heard, dude. I've heard that like Oregon and Washington State are like they're like paradises compared to the rest of the United States. But I don't know how true that is. Maybe that's like a big lie.
I don't know, because like so I was born in Idaho, and I've gone to Idaho a bunch of times, and there's beautiful places in Idaho too, and like I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the West. I've only been on the West Coast though, so I can't really say too much. But it's,
dude, and you know what? And I'll say this too, and this is probably like, and I personally don't have any problems with any of the states, so don't take it that way. But like, this is going back to like the views that I feel like some people in the United States have on other states. Like in New Jersey, like New York, like people make jokes like, "Oh, who lives in Idaho?" You know what I'm saying? Like to us, it's like nobody lives there.
That's how it goes. I feel like that's usually the running joke,
Yeah. I mean, or like the Dakotas, for example, like that kind of thing.
We think about that, like who lives in South Dakota?
Yeah.
Dakota is just a giant like gated community.
Yeah. But like Idaho, like I'm looking at a map again of the US, like Idaho is big as shit, dude. This is like if you look at my state, like New Jersey on a map, like Idaho is like New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Maryland and Maine, I should say.
That's what Massachusetts. You're from New Jersey, but when you go to New York, in my head, I think, oh, that's so far. But in reality, it's like that's literally like part of Oregon, like half of it. So
yeah. No, I see what you're saying. And yeah, I mean, as I said, like right as it currently stands, I'm moving to South Jersey, but I mean, like I'm 30 minutes from New York City, really 40 minutes from the middle of the city.
Yeah. Actually, that's literally Portland from where we are right now.
Is there anything you really hate about New York City?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, okay. I don't know. Like, no, and I don't hate New York. Like, New York is like.
Hey, wait. Can we pause you real quick, because we only have a minute left? I'm gonna end it and then re-invite you again.
No problem. Yep. All right. Yeah. Bye.
1 sec. Yeah. Well, the last thing that we were talking about was what you hated about New York.
I mean, I don't know. Again, like I think the main thing is just because I'm not like a city guy, but I mean, it's just hard to get around, and I think that U.S. public transportation isn't wonderful either compared to other countries. So like yeah, almost everything you either have to Uber, you have to take a taxi, or you have to take the subway, which at least for me, someone who's not from New York, could be confusing. But I mean that's mainly it. And then on top of that too, New York is pretty expensive. But I mean I don't hate the city or the people. All New Yorkers don't think vertical space hates you or any city. I'm just saying as someone from the outside that's how I feel anyway. It can be hard to get around, but maybe those same issues are the same in Portland. I don't know, but I know like in New York, like yesterday, like I paid like $13 for a beer. So like
Damn, what the fuck?
yeah, and you know what it was? It was like it was already in front of me, and then I didn't realize until I was already paying for it, and I was like, yeah, no. So then I got the free drink tickets because the venue gave that to me once I actually started, like right after we played.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was just like, damn, $13 for like a Blue Moon.
That's crazy.
For $13, you could get like you could get like a pack or whatever.
Yeah, 12 pack.
Yeah.
In Portland, you can get 7 blowjobs for $13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was only asking why you hate because how is the homeless down
in New York City?
New York?
Surprisingly, I mean, yes, it is an issue, but I've heard that the West Coast problem is much greater than the East Coast's in terms of homelessness. I don't know how true that is. Maybe it's a lie, but
I mean, you drive not even 15 minutes away from Portland. There's already campsites everywhere. There's campsites everywhere, to be honest. Like you'll just be driving down the highway, and if there's enough forest that somebody can put a tent and hide themselves back there, there's probably
it doesn't even have to be forest, bro.
Yeah.
And
I mean, maybe
they're on the grass, just right off the ramp.
Yeah, and I don't know if like maybe that means that like I don't know that if that means that the problem is any better here, or maybe that the local government is better at just enforcing, like we have stricter regulations regarding it. I don't know if it means that it's better here, but I don't see that here personally.
I'm pretty sure that there's they're allowing people to just camp out anywhere in Oregon and Washington. I'm pretty sure that's like a thing. Like you can pretty much camp out anywhere if it's not a government building or someone's property. People, and then they're also choose, like a lot of people choose for some reason to be homeless down here. So
yeah,
a lot of it has to do with drugs, but there are some people who just choose to be homeless.
I mean, maybe, and again, I don't know. This could be me speaking ignorantly. I mean, maybe a policy of allowing people to camp if they so choose is better. I don't know if it. I mean, the alternative is kind of like living on the street, especially with the opioid crisis and everything, and like a major city. Maybe it's better to be away from that and camping. Again, that's me ignorantly. I don't know about the how. Yeah,
that's a good thought though. I never thought of it that way. Where like instead of having people just sleep on a sidewalk, they have the ability to sleep in a tent on a sidewalk. It's more of like a human rights,
Yeah, and I mean, like this is, and again, I talked about like my very very basic political feelings. I mean, I don't think that like I don't know, like I'm not like a complete capitalist. I'm not like a complete socialist economically either. Like, but I would say that like things that should be free for everyone, like water, like you should have clean access to water, and you should have access to like some sort of living space. You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously we have to work to have like nice things. Like obviously that's the way our society is. But like, I mean, really, like you have a whole like a fucking national park. You know what I'm saying? Or like you have like a state forest that if there are poor people who need to use it, I don't see what the issue is with that.
Here they're building villas. Do you know what a villa is?
Maybe we have a different term for it here.
It's a villa is like it's basically like it's like a neighborhood, but it's like gated, and it has like a park in the middle of like apartments or like a house. It's basically just like a private neighborhood.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we have those, but I think that I don't know if those are for you guys. That's for like like the richer people or for poorer people? But I know here we have plenty of gated communities, but it's usually I think that like richer people living in townhomes, that kind of thing.
We call it, so for like richer people, it's definitely a gated community, but like a villa is more of like people who like don't have that much money or have a lot of kids or something like that, and it's more of like affordable housing, kind of thing.
And maybe it works. Again, I'm very ignorant of the situation, you know what I'm saying, but I mean maybe that's better. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I like how you said that's like a humanitarian right to have like a warm place to lay down, but I feel like there definitely should be something in place to like not necessarily live there for free, whether that means like doing some sort of community service or just taking trash in a park or something.
Maybe it's almost like a job crisis.
What do you mean?
Maybe for like, so if there's people like, obviously you can't stop if a person chooses to be homeless, whether it be drugs or you can't, like, there's no way to stop that. So there's literally no policy you can't stop. So there are people who don't choose to be there, that like maybe just need jobs, or maybe because I know like homeless people it kind of puts like an instant name on you where like you can't enter a restaurant, maybe because you are raggedy, or like, so maybe that affects how you get jobs or how other people look at you. I don't know. It's like a really gray area.
No. Yeah, I get you. I mean, I just think in general, and a lot of it obviously is due to like drug addiction or some sort of crime affiliation. But regardless of whatever the situation is, most people who are homeless, obviously they don't want to be in that situation, and so it's these are just obviously very complicated issues on a national scale, and obviously I don't think any country has really completely figured out homelessness, except a few, I think, Scandinavian countries have gotten kind of close in Northern Europe, but
Wait,
for the most,
what have you heard from them?
Well, like, I mean, just as I understand it, in like Norway and Denmark, they just have extremely low homeless. They just have better social services basically than the United States. You know what I'm saying? So usually, exactly. Just like the U.S. prison system is completely different than the European prison system as well.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting because I know down in like I might be completely wrong, but I've heard that in Denmark, like drug use is skyrocketing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that like, and again, I'd have to like look it all up, but I think that they have a little bit more liberal like laws. And when I say liberal, I mean like kind of they're a little more. It's not as much of, not even stigmatized. It's just like in the United States, like in a lot of the country, like for example in New Jersey, marijuana is recreationally legal now, but I mean we're in a country that it's obviously federally illegal, and the federal the federal sentence for being found with pot is I don't know how long it is, but I know it's put too many people in prison. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that in Europe they have more liberal laws regarding drug use, and maybe that's why they have a different kind of drug consumption rate. But I think that the United States probably uses the most drugs out of any country in the world. But I don't.
Nuts. I feel like I feel like it has something to do with the seller of it just can make a lot more here.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
but also, I mean, with marijuana now, it's kind of like the gold industry in our day and age. It's just a forefront.
Yeah. Well, doesn't Oregon have something where like I don't want to say all drugs are legal, but that's how they make it seem over here. But like where it's not legal, but decriminalized.
Yeah, it's like if you're caught with possession of any drug, they can't take you to jail. They'll just I'm pretty sure they just confiscate it from you.
I think it might be a fine.
Yeah, it's like a fine, but it's nothing. It's not like incarceration, courts, all that stuff. So,
and I'd say like from my perspective, like, and this is living here where the law is very different. I would think that what you guys have is a very common sense law, in my opinion. But maybe it hasn't worked out. I mean, I don't know. It hasn't worked out, or is it more like?
I think it's worked in helping people, because they're like, if you think about it, it's just not, there is no answer to stopping someone from taking the drugs.
Yeah, addiction. You as an addict, you have to want to quit that addiction, and I'm pretty sure he told me the other day that the cops will go into homeless people's tents and ask them for help, and if they say I don't want it, then they'll just be like, all right, have a good night, and just leave. Because over here, it's more of a choice thing. It's not
it's like no one's gonna stop using a drug because they're thrown in a cell.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like they know that. I feel like they're more open-minded towards that here. They're more. You can't change that in a day, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I think that, you know, number one, people have to want to quit. But I mean, number two, some people, like, you know, some people aren't addicts, and they like to do whatever they do, and maybe that's, you know, it's their right. You know, and I'm not advocating for anyone to do anything, but I guess my whole point is that, again, my opinion, and maybe there are some implications behind this that I, you know, I haven't seen because I don't know the crime statistics, but I think that, you know, for people who have an amount of whatever drug for personal use, being put in prison for a long time is stupid. That's my opinion.
It's kind of like it's a huge difference doing something to yourself than doing something to hurt someone else.
Yeah, agreed.
When jail and prison is definitely a good thing to have an effect, but when you're just using something as a what is that? Recreation. Okay. As a recreational just thing.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that is prison worthy. It's definitely. I mean, definitely something you should be like. I don't know why you're doing that.
Yeah.
But it's a choice. Everybody's got their own vices in this world.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
We've had a good conversation. We talked about like the war on drugs.
It's an honor having you on.
Yeah, we were really nervous coming into this. We didn't know how it was gonna go, and you blew our expectations out the roof. It was great. So.
Oh, dude, you guys are the best. I mean, we talked about everything. We talked about like the war on drugs. We talked about like, music.
All about your music and all that.
We talked about like the USA. Yeah, I mean, like this episode, like I'm not. You guys do whatever you want, but like it would be like, you know, your podcast and Ron talk about the war on drugs and music and fucking.
I mean, dude,
again, I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Really.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you for being on and sharing your time. So
no problem. Have a good one, guys. Right.
We'll have to do this again. This was great. So yeah, definitely. If you have free time or willing, we'll text you and figure something out again. So.
Dude, totally. Again, probably like after the next album, we could maybe talk about that if you want.
That'd be super cool, actually. So yeah,
we'll
have to stay in touch. But thank you again. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Talk soon, right?
Yeah. Have a good night, Rob.
All right, good night. Yep, bye, guys.
Bye.